tell them this life, yeah, it's la vie. I'm taking a shot for my enemies. I can't waste no more time on my energy. I know they know I got it on lock. Go against me, that's a long shot. Cause I'm counting wins all around the clock. Never doubt me, boy, I don't stop. Who do you feel when they make you the monster? I am not scared of none of you imposters. Taking the lead now while they watching. Think you should leave now while the option. Taking no else, yeah, I gotta win. Watch me kick down the doors, they won't let me in. We're running the game now. Foot on the gas, can slow down. No, my team, we holding it down. We know we running it now. Watch the game change. Watch the game change. Watch the game change. Watch the game change, yeah.
Welcome to the Jared Briggs Show, everybody. It is Tuesday. Hope you guys are having a great day. Today we're going to be talking about making more money. Who doesn't want to make more money? Especially in today's world, inflation, everything that's going on. Let's make more money. Let's get better. I have some simple thoughts with today that we're going to talk about making more money. Then we are going to go into the 3 steps on how to be disciplined with your money, management with your money, and overall to increase and make more money. And then we've got some questions online that we're going to jump into that I have pre-looked at. It was kind of fun surfing the internet, surfing a different platform where I was getting these questions. But today I actually went through and picked a handful of questions that I want to go over. And I didn't read them in detail. I just was like, I like that topic. I like that idea. Let's talk about it on the air. Isn't that what people say, right? Like when they're on like a radio show, we are on the air. I guess social media is the new air today because I listen to the radio. Honestly, the only time I listen to the radio is if I get in the tractor because we haven't got it set up to where we can plug our phones into it, which would be really nice sometimes to listen to a book or something. But if I want to do that, I just put in my AirPods. So the only time I listen to the radio is that, and that's where I have a hard time running radio ads for stuff nowadays. Social media, that's where it's at. All right. I don't know where that came from. You guys, I want to talk about making more money because I don't care what people say. We all desire it. There are so many people out there that be like, oh, money isn't important. And, you know, I don't care what I am doing or where I'm making or what's going on. Like everything negative around money, right? Well, if you didn't care, you wouldn't be spending your life trying to earn more money. You wouldn't be going to work every single day, working 40, 50, 60 hours a week. You wouldn't be stressing about money. It's on our mind all the time, nonstop. We make every decision based on money. You go to the grocery store, you buy your groceries based on money. You go to a car dealership, you buy a car based on money. You go to the restaurant, you purchase your meal based on money. That filet mignon, that Wagyu New York strip looks really freaking good, doesn't it? But then when you see the price tag, 50, 75, 100, 150, whatever it is, I want to eat something else, right? We make every decision based on money. And we've created such a negative in society that if you have a lot of money or if you desire a lot of money, you're a bad person. Well, I don't believe that at all. If you're a good person, it's going to highlight that anyway. If you're a bad person, it's going to highlight that. So whether you're a good person to begin with or a bad person to begin with, it's all the same. I believe that most people are good. I truly do believe that. I believe there are very few that are actually evil on this earth. I believe we all have the desire to do good and we want good. There's just things that happen in people's life that cause them to go down a path that maybe some of us would not choose, but that's okay. And I share all of this with you to give you permission to believe that money is a good thing. You guys, I enjoy money. I like making money. I enjoy what money gives me, the opportunities, the experiences, the ability to choose. I enjoy money. I love money. Money is incredible. It doesn't mean I love money more than God. It doesn't mean I love money more than my family. It doesn't mean I love money any more than anything else or that it's the most important thing in my life. I like it and I love it because of what it can do for us. And I believe the first step to increasing income, to gaining peace with money, is realizing the truth around money, that it's okay to like it. It's okay to desire it. It's okay to use it for good and to not get caught up in all of the negativity around it. Money is important. It has an effect of every single thing we do every single day. You know, it really does. It really, really does. So to make more money, you need to have a good relationship with money. You need to believe it's good. If you do not believe money is good or that it's important, that is exactly why you don't have a lot of money. I want you to think about it. I want you to think about it from the perspective if you are married, if you have a spouse. Like I have a spouse, I am married. And I can only imagine how long our marriage would go if I walked up to her and I told her every single day that she wasn't important. If I told her she wasn't important, like how long is that marriage going to last? Not very long. Same thing with money. Money is energy. Money is a tool. Money is a resource. Okay? And so if we believe it is important and we believe that it is good, then it is. So this is your permission to open yourself up to earning and collecting more income. I want you to start looking in avenues, in ways that you've never thought of before. I want you to think of things that you've never thought of before, like stuff that you've never contemplated. You're like, what if I did sell drugs? Now, I'm not saying you should sell drugs like that, but like open your mind that dramatic. What if I did quit my job and I went and got my CDL and I hit the road and I went and made $150,000 a year driving truck? What if I became a pilot? What if I did start selling cars? What if I got my insurance license and started selling insurance? What if I did buy a course that taught me how to do online marketing? You know, what if I could start making money with AI, artificial intelligence? What if I could make it online with social media? What if I went and worked for the railroad? What if I went and worked for the oil field? What if I became a freelancer? What if I started writing? What if I wrote that book? You guys, there's an endless opportunity out there. And there is billions and billions and billions of dollars in transactions right now, literally floating through the air with Cash App and Venmo and bank accounts and wire transfers. All of you guys, money is floating through the air right now, digitally. Isn't that crazy? Like, we have digits and numbers sitting in our bank account. But if everybody went to the bank and said, hey, I want my money, they would be out of money really, really quick because they don't hold that much cash. Like, most of our money is digital now. So what are you not doing that opens you up to start collecting that money, start collecting that income? Maybe you should start thinking outside of the box. Start thinking of things that you've never thought of before. Start contemplating. Get out a journal and write down, like, what are 100 things that I could do to make money, to collect more money that I've never thought of before? Cleaning houses, detailing cars. I mean, you could come up with 100 things and then maybe get to 200, then 3, then 5, then 1,000, whatever it takes, and start really contemplating, like, what is it that I want to do for the rest of my life? That is one thing that I've really thought of here lately, is what I am currently doing, like, on a day-to-day basis. I love this kind of stuff. But what I do on a day-to-day basis, do I want to do this every single day for 30, 40, 50 more years? That's a real interesting question to ask yourself, because we all have an expiration date. We are all going to die someday. We will die. Or maybe Christ will come, and it's all over anyway. Well, the next stage of God's plan will continue on. But we're going to die. And so the things that we look at right now that we think are very serious, are they really going to matter 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now? Like the stuff you're stressed about today, is it going to matter next year? January 2027, will it matter? And I really contemplate those things and look at those things of like, oh man, when I'm on my deathbed, am I going to be proud of what it is that I'm doing? One thing I believe in is you can do anything you put your mind to, and you can have anything in this life that you want that's good for you. And I say this often to my children when I put my daughter to bed, when I'm talking with her, my little boy, and I'll whisper it to him and say, you can do anything you put your mind to. and you can have anything in this life that you want that's good for you. And I put that in there that's good for you because when a kid comes and says, I want candy, and you're like, okay, you can have anything you want. And they're like, well, I want 10 pounds of candy and I want to eat 10 pounds every day. That's not that good for you, right? So I added in there, you can have anything in this life that you want that's good for you, okay? I want to program that into myself, that I truly can. You guys, I had an interesting experience a few months back. I've got on my vision board in my closet, I've got a picture of a Can-Am Defender Max Limited, the tan buckskin color. So the 4-door, heat, AC, I freaking love that machine. I want one so bad. And it was hanging on the wall. And my daughter looks up there and she's like, Dad, is that your Can-Am? And I was like, yeah, that's the one that I want. And she said, well, let's go buy it. I'll go with you. Let's go to the store today. And it like struck me. It set me back. And I was like, wow. She has zero limitation. She truly believes you can get anything. There's no obstacle. And I thought, I think this a lot with the scriptures where in the Bible, in the Book of Mormon, Doctrine and Covenants, and all the scriptures that are out there. You guys, I don't believe that there's just one scripture. I believe books written today. I believe people prophesying. I think it's all scripture. That's all scriptures are, is people that talked thousands of years ago. That's all scriptures are. And I believe that there are modern day scriptures. But one thing I love in the scriptures is how often does Christ tell us to be like the children? I never understood that till I had children. I never understood the love that God has for us until I had children. God wants us to be happy. God wants us to be prosperous. God wants us to make more money. God wants us to accomplish our goals and our dreams. And so I share that with you because Christ tells us to be like the children. And my daughter just says, let's go to the store and buy it right now. And then I'm sitting here thinking, well, I don't have the money right now. Or I do, but I don't want to spend it on that because we've got these other plans. We've got this. Well, why am I limiting myself to what I have right now? Why am I only limiting myself to that? Why am I not opening myself up to collect more? What if there are more things out there that God has planned and I'm not opening myself to it? What if I'm physically shutting it off? What if I'm mentally, emotionally, and spiritually retracting what God is trying to send me or what he's trying to do for me or what my true plan is on this earth? Because my daughter doesn't understand limitations. She believes we can accomplish anything right now instantly. She was ready to hop in the truck and go buy the $30,000 plus machine. Be more like the children. I love that in the scriptures. To kind of go back, I never understood God's love. I had a hard time understanding God's love. And I remember when I was serving a mission in South Carolina, I remember studying this. I was like, man, I wish I could understand God's love more. And I just had kind of an impression that gave me peace of like, you won't fully understand it until you have children yourself. And I'm like, okay, I was at peace with that. I'm like, okay, cool. And then I had children, and it is amazing the difference that we perceive the world in now that I have children. And any of you, I see the world so much differently. So much differently. I didn't know you could love something that much. Like, I love my wife and my family and my parents and all that. But there's something about your children that, like, it puts you into a whole new gear, into a whole new life. I share all those things with you because maybe the real problem isn't you making more money. Maybe it's you need to step into who it is that you are meant to be on a greater level. Maybe the calling that God is calling you to, and I don't know what it is. You see, I can sit here and speak from experience because I felt the impressions to do lives, to post on social media, to talk more about money and systems and processes and plans and wealth and all of these things, and I'm trying to freaking figure it out. I literally pray on a day-to-day basis. I'm like, okay, Heavenly Father, I feel this desire to talk more about money. I feel this desire to help people. I feel this desire to teach, the system that I've learned that's helped me be more organized with my money and to increase income and to have a better mindset. And I feel inspired to teach all these things, but I don't freaking know what I'm doing with it. 99.9% of the time, I feel like a total Nimrod up here. I feel like a ding dong. And I'll even go to social media and I'll look at the videos and I'll see the videos or the comments and it's like, oh, I wonder what so-and-so thinks or I wonder what so-and-so says. It's stupid. And so I'll just pray and be like, okay, I feel this pull. I feel this desire. It's burning in my soul to talk more about these things and to help people. But what do I freaking do and how do I do it? And I don't know what it looks like yet. I have no freaking clue. But I can go live today and talk about the things that have come to mind and the questions that have come across online and hope that it adds value. Hopefully it shares something with someone that's going to add value to their lives. But I really hope I'm figuring out more of what it is that God wants me to do. I'm tired of feeling like I'm out of place. I'm tired of feeling like I'm lost. I'm tired of being frustrated and like almost anxiety and depression and sad. And I'm tired of feeling all of those things. And so I'm taking a step forward today, going live, doing this, even though I feel like an idiot. I'm taking a step forward, trusting and with a prayer that, Heavenly Father, I feel like this is what I'm supposed to do, but I don't know what. And I share that with you because I don't know what your calling is. Only you do. What is that thing that you keep feeling impressed to share or to do, the business, the whatever it is? What do you feel impressed to do? Maybe the reason why we're struggling financially is because we're not doing those things. I've been having an interesting thought that I've got this crazy list of things that I want to do, that I want to buy, that I want to experience, or things that I want to give. Money to people or things or charities or, whatever it is. I've got this list of stuff, and I've constantly had this list and this idea and this thought. And I literally had this thought. I'm like, maybe nothing is progressing like I want it to because I haven't taken even the slightest of action forward. Maybe that's why things are stuck for me. I was a part of this program a while ago, and it said, if you never give yourself what you want, you'll never get what you want. And they gave this challenge. They're like, you should make a list of 100 things and then more that you want to buy or experience or do for yourself, like for yourself. And then they're like, you should focus on crossing things off that list. If you've got something where it's just like, I want to buy this particular notebook, you put it on there. And you're like, okay, I can afford that right now. I'm going to go do it. You just took a step forward in taking action. And so I literally thought, I'm like, the side-by-side. Maybe I haven't achieved the side-by-side because there's other things on my list that I could accomplish today, but I keep putting it off and putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. Maybe I should take action towards those things. Every one of us is different, and I don't know what your thing is. But I do know that staying stuck or doing the same things today that we did yesterday, doing the same things in 2026 that we did in 2025, doing all of those things is going to give us the same results. So as this title is, Make More Money, maybe it isn't just a matter of making more money, but it's stepping into who you are authentically, who you are truly meant to be. Because I envy those people that you can tell they are doing what it is that they want to do, and it's like money doesn't even matter, yet they make a lot of it. Like I look at Joe Rogan as an example, the Joe Rogan Experience, his podcast show. The guy makes, I don't even know how much money, a couple $100 million yearly. I don't know what it is, but I can tell you he's not struggling financially, yet he does it every day. Every freaking day, pretty much every day. He is doing podcast interviews. He has his comedy show. He has his comedy business building location. And he just does it because he loves it and he wants to do it. And it's like there's no pressure or stress. Like, I'm sure he gets stressed and pressured and there's a lot on his plate. But if he hated it, I feel like he would have quit a long time ago. But he just keeps doing it. Well, what is it that we could do, that we want to do, because we want to do it? Would you make more money doing those things? Would you make more money being authentic to who it is that you are? Would you make more money having fun and enjoying those things? That's a good question. We're going to go on to number 2 right now, which is what I call the money reset. The money reset is a system and a process and a plan for any of you that are struggling. Maybe you're struggling financially, living paycheck to paycheck. I want to talk about this because in my time of complete frustration, being pissed off financially, this system saved me, and I learned these principles from studying other people. This isn't mine. I'll be honest with you. I read Dave Ramsey. I've read every one of his books. Well, I don't know if he's put out any new ones in the last few years. I don't follow him at all anymore. I read every one of his books. I listened to the EntreLeadership. I listened to his radio show. I'd follow him on social media. And I like his stuff. I like the debt snowball program. I like the, having cash, having money for things that come up. A lot of people call them emergencies. But I didn't like not using credit cards. I hate investing in the retirement accounts, mutual funds. I do not put money in those things, and I will never put money in those things. And I don't like the never have debt. And so I started looking at these things, and I'm like, okay, based on my philosophy, based on my system, based on what I wanted to accomplish throughout my life, I like a lot of these things, but it doesn't fit me fully. I like a lot of these things, but I was like, I don't have debt. I don't need a debt snowball program. I don't have a problem with credit cards. I love credit cards. That's the only thing that I use. I do not like 401ks, IRAs, mutual funds. I don't like them. I don't put money in them, and I only put money in them one time to avoid taxes, and then I pulled the money out and avoided taxes again. I used it for a strategy, but I have no money sitting in any of those accounts currently at the moment. And so I started looking outside of these, like, okay, this system is going to keep me broke for the rest of my life. Yeah, maybe I'll have cash. Maybe I won't have any debt, but I'll own no assets. I'll be stuck financially for the rest of my life. And so I started looking outside of that, and I come across a book called The Richest Man in Babylon. And I started reading these things. And I was like, whoa, there's a lot of things here that I really, really like. And so I started putting those things together, and I took some things from Dave Ramsey. I took some things from this book, and I've just continued to do that over the years. There is no one financial system. There is no one right way. I do not believe that there is one right way. I believe the financial system that is going to work is the one that you believe in. And that's why I would never sit here and say, don't follow Dave Ramsey. Don't read his books. Don't. I would never say, I don't even tell, people to not invest in 401ks. I'm not securities licensed. So I can't give advice on that, but I wouldn't tell anybody to do anything. I would share the things that I like and that I believe and that fit my philosophy, but there might be 1,000 people on this earth that agree that way. I don't know. It's not my say. Like, who gives anybody the right to tell you how to manage your money or invest your money or any of those things? Nobody has the right. Like, it's your freaking money. It is your money. Like, you're the one that went to work for it. You're the one that started that business. You're the one that did all those things. So why does anybody have the right to tell you what you can and can't do? That's why I hate budgets. I'm not a budget person. I hate being told what to do. Even my wife, like when she tries to tell me what to do, like I'm blah. I don't friggin' like it. And maybe that's a negative personality trait of myself, and I need to be more humble. You know, whatever it is, we are who we are, and we are what we are. And I share these things with you because I found peace with finances, with money, learning something that fit my idea. You know, somebody that hates risk should never invest into real estate. Because what if the market completely crashes? Or what if that house burns down and the insurance fights you and you never get it built again? Like, if you are a zero risk type person, then you should probably invest in zero risk type things. If you are a high risk type person, you should invest in high risk type things. If you're a hybrid of the both, where you're like, I don't mind taking risk, but I like controlled risk, I like to educate myself on it, then freaking do that kind of stuff. If you're the type where it makes you comfortable to get a big box and stick the box under your mattress and you throw a $10 bill in there every single day and that's your retirement plan, then freaking go for it. What would that be? What if somebody did that? Somebody did $10 times 365 times, let's say somebody did that for 35 years. $127,000. It's going to be a pretty meager retirement, but if that's your freaking plan, then do it. And pray to God your house don't burn down. Nobody has the ability or the right or the knowledge to tell you what to do, when to do it, or how to do it. So this information that I share is coming from the perspective of what I found peace with. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong. It gave me peace with my finances. It gave me control with my finances. It gave me a sense of understanding what was going on, because I got sick and tired of every time I got paid and every time I went to pay bills, I was so freaking tired of saying the question, where the hell is the money going? And I was tired of feeling that way, thinking that way. I was tired of it. And so I studied my information based on that. I don't like traditional. You guys, I hate our educational system. I'll be 100% honest with you. I am like crawling inside myself, frustrated, because my daughter starts school in our general public system next year. And I'm like, do we send her to school or do we homeschool her? Because there's pros and cons on both sides. But our educational system is so shitty. It's insane. And I'm trying to figure out what to do with that. So I'm here to tell all of you that this information is based on what gave me peace and put me in a position to accomplish the things that I wanted to accomplish. Now, maybe this doesn't fit you. Freaking love it. I'm glad. I hope it doesn't fit you, because now you have knowledge on what not to do. There's no wrong. There's no losing. There's knowledge. There's information. You know, if I think buying crypto is a good idea and I go spend $1,000 on crypto and then I lose all $1,000, yeah, I lost $1,000, but I gained $1,000 of knowledge, and I'll never make that freaking mistake ever, ever, ever again. So I can go make $1,000 again, but gaining that knowledge would have been really hard without that experience. So I share that with you because what can we learn from everything? I'm going to share 3 steps with you that I believe have helped me make more money, become better at my discipline, become better at my management, become better at earning on my money, and it's gave me an opportunity and a peace of mind so that I can focus on increasing in my income and building the life that it is that I want to live. It's 3 simple steps. Step number 1, know your income. Step number 2 is wealth plan. Step number 3 is increase income. There you go, guys. I'm just kidding. Step number 1 is know your income. Like I mean this in the most simplest way possible. Literally know how much money you are making every single pay period. However your pay period is, whether it's weekly, whether it's biweekly, whether it's freaking once a year, whatever it is. What is your income? Because if somebody makes $4,100 a month, that's a big difference than $4,400 a month. That's a $3,600 annual difference. And it's just simple little numbers in there that you think don't mean anything. But know your income. Know exactly how much is coming in for you, for your spouse, from your investments, everything. Like, what are you collecting on a month-to-month basis when it comes to your income? Step number 2 is we're going to create what's called a wealth creation plan. Remember I said I hate the word budget? I've tried the cash budget. I've tried the, apps and the different things, and I don't like them. They're confusing. And it's like, if I got to freaking sit here and learn a whole new thing, like, what am I doing? I just need to understand my money simply. And so this is the system I use. It's literally on an Excel sheet. I type in the top my income, my wife's income. It calculates it. I type in how much is in our bank account. And then the next step is, what are your fixed expenses? Fixed expenses are the ones that do not change. They're always the same. Car payment, rent, mortgage, insurances, phone bill, all those things are the exact same payment every single month. Netflix, if you're on the $25 plan or the $19 plan or whatever the plans are nowadays, that's a fixed expense. It's the exact same every single month. The next is variable expenses. These are ones that change. Power, water, groceries, gas, all of those different things that change on a month-to-month basis. But you have an idea. And in my system, a lot of times the bill don't come to the end of the month, but I calculate and plan for the generic version idea until I know the number. Okay, so variable expenses are the ones that change. So now you know your income. Now you know your fixed expenses. Now you know your variable expenses. Then the wealth plan really is anything left over. We got to start telling that money what to do. And so many people are going to say, oh, there is no money left over. Yes, there is. I promise you there is money left over. Unless you have just been so bad financially that you make $5,000 a month and you literally are spending $5,600 a month and the other $600 is on a credit card every single month. That is a problem that we cannot fix until we remove those things. Okay? But for pretty much everybody, I promise you that you have extra money. But when you go into the gas station and you buy a candy bar and a drink and you think, oh, I think I'm good. And then you go onto Amazon, oh, I think I'm good. And then you go to the grocery store, I think I'm good. And then you go to the car dealership, and I think I can afford this payment. That's our problem. Okay, that is the problem, is you think you're good. But are you good? Do you know? Okay, so when we type all this in and we know our income, we know our expenses, now we can start taking that extra and stop thinking and start knowing. You guys, K-N-O-W. That is a powerful word. Like, everybody thinks, like I used to say hear all the time, the most powerful word in the English language is no. And it's a very powerful word. And a lot of us need to learn the word no more. But know, K-N-O-W, or knowledge, those words to know something is very valuable. And it's right up there with the word no, N-O, and then K-N-O-W. Man, that's the freaking English language is confusing. Okay? Those two words are very, very, very powerful because to know and have knowledge is very powerful, and it puts you in a different position, especially when it comes to your money. If you go through your financial system and all of a sudden you see, holy shiz, I've got $1,200 extra. Where the fetch is that going? Now we have knowledge. Now we can start really going through and be like, oh, when I go to the gas station, I think I'm good. Some of it went there. And when I go to the grocery store and I go to Amazon and I go here and I go here and I go here and I go here, I think. And next thing you know, we just spent $1,157. And then you open your checking account at the end of the month. You're like, well, I should save some. And there's freaking $40 left. You're like, there's not enough. Well, yeah, because you think. You thought you were good, but you're not. Okay, so having this knowledge to know what is going on, now we can start telling your money what to do. This is where we need to have a plan, wealth plan. This is where we start categorizing our money. Hey, we want some money for spending. Okay, we're going to put $200 in our spend account. Hey, we want some money to eat out. All right, we're going to put $100 in our eating out account. Hey, we want to buy a house. We're going to put $500 in our house. Oh, we spend about $500 to $600 a month on groceries. All right, we're going to put $600 in our grocery account. Now, I don't know if that all adds up to $1,200, whatever it is, but now we can categorize those things and plan and have knowledge on where our money is going, what our money is going, and what we can and can't afford. Because if you ain't got no money and you go to the gas station and you're like, I'm going to get a drink and a candy bar, now you've got knowledge. And you're either going to make the right decision or you're going to make the wrong decision. Now, I'm not saying buying Starbucks and energy drink. I'm not saying that's the reason why you're broke. I'm just sharing with you, maybe that's the reason why you're a little tight right now is because you're blowing all your money on stupid stuff. Okay? And I get it. I'm right there with you. Those white can Monster Energies, they got me too. They got me. But if you go to Walmart and buy a 12-pack, it's like $23. Okay? At the gas station, so let's say it's $24 with tax. Divided by 12, that's $2 a can. If you go to the gas station, they're $5.50. Divide by 2, that's $2.75 a can. 75 cents more per can. Okay? So if you go 0.75 times 12, you're spending an extra $9 for 12 cans. Oh, all right. So if I've got this where I'm like, I like this. This is my little guilty pleasure. I'm going to go to the gas station or order it off Amazon or go to Sam's Club. I bet it's even cheaper at Sam's than Walmart. Okay? And you're like, I'm going to buy this, but I'm going to save myself $9 freaking for 12 days. Or maybe you're one of those that drinks 4. I don't know. That's a problem. Okay? But now that we have knowledge, you can make decisions. You guys, we already know what we need to do. We know that we shouldn't have ate that freaking pizza last night. We should have ate some good protein, simple carbs. We should have worked out. But we complain about our weight. We complain about our health, but we know what we should be doing. Same things with our money. We know we shouldn't be buying stuff that we're buying, but we think we're good, and we'll deal with it on the back end. Okay? So when we know our income and we create a plan, it puts us in a knowledge seat. It puts us in the driver's seat. So now you have knowledge. So when you go to do something, you know when you can't afford it and when you can afford it. Having this knowledge takes us to step number 3. Remember I said increase income. We now have knowledge. We have a system. We have a process. We know what's going on. We know where our money's going. We are telling every dollar where to go and what to do. Now you know that you spent $20 at freaking gas station. You know that you spent this much money on subscriptions. You know. You can cut things that are unnecessary, which is smart, but you will never be able to save yourself to wealth. You will never be able to save yourself to increased income. You're never going to be able to save enough money to solve inflation. You're never going to be able to save enough money to solve your housing problem. You're never going to be able to save enough money to solve your grocery problem. Or having kids. Kids are freaking expensive. I love them. We should never not have kids because of money, but it's a reality. Okay, but now we have knowledge. And so we see this knowledge, we see this information, and now we can start executing. Our current plan isn't working. I need new information. I need new knowledge. I need new earning capabilities. There's this opportunity at work. If I went and got this certificate, I'd get a $5 pay raise. Great. We're going to start using discretionary income. We're going to start planning, hey, that certificate's going to cost me $6,000. I'm going to go invest $6,000 into that and get a $5 raise. Let's see. $5 times 40 times 365. No, 52. 200 times 52. I was like, that doesn't make sense. That's another $10,400. All right, so in the first year, I'm only going to profit $4,000. But then look at this. Every year, I'm going to increase by $10,400. Not bad, right? Now we start having knowledge. Or maybe it's time to start that business, that side hustle, or something. Now we have an opportunity to increase income because we know, we have knowledge on what is going on with our money. Now you can operate that system, very little energy. You guys, once you get this system down, I started realizing that when I got paid, when my wife got paid, I just knew what to do with the money. I knew we were putting X amount here and here and here and here and here. I'd do it and I'm done. And I'm like, cool. It's the first. And I now got the rest of the month. I'm going to focus on increasing income. I know what I can spend. I know what we got. I know where our money's going. I know what's happening. Now, how do I increase my income $500 a month? Because that would solve, that would give me more money to do X, Y, and Z. How do I increase by 1,000, 2,000? And you just keep going and going and going. My wife and I, we do this all the time. We go through our finances. We make sure things are good. And then we're like, okay, we can either focus on our cutting expenses and being that, or we can focus on increasing. You can only do one thing at a time. Having knowledge on your money and then focusing on increasing. Because guess what? If inflation goes up, but you know how to increase your income, who wins? You do. You do. It doesn't freaking matter what's going on. If you guys want to know something that I honestly lay in bed at night thinking about is our financial situation in the United States of America. Statistically, 200 million people are dependent on the government. You guys, we'll never have a leg to stand on. When we complain to the government that our taxes are too high, they're like, okay, what are you going to freaking do about it? And think about it. In a small town, if there's a store and they're the only people that sell that and you got to drive 5 hours to get the same product, they're like, you can either pay this price or you can drive 5 hours. And you're like, well, to drive 5 hours would cost me $300 more. Guess you're going to pay that price. That's exactly what the government's doing to us, supply and demand. Like, we are getting supplied and demanded from our own government, from our own financial system. The IRS, Federal Reserve, they're private companies. The government, taxes, politicians, Democrats, Republicans. Yes, there's no one party or one system or to blame. It's the whole freaking thing. But how can we, as a country, as an American people, we the people, how can we even balk at it when we are dependent on them ourselves? That's why I love this system, is because it creates independence. You know, one thing I'm so grateful for is that my mom and dad taught me how to be independent. I don't need my mom and dad. I don't. I do not need my mom and dad for anything. Nothing financially, nothing. I love my mom and dad. I call them often. I look forward to spending time with them. I'll call them for advice or things or whatever, but I don't need them. And I think it bugs my mom. And I'm like, it's your fault. You know, my mom, there's just my brother and I, and you know, my wife, she's way more connected to her parents than I am to my parents. And I just think that's a daughter thing. And I tell her, I'm like, Mom, I'm sorry you didn't have a daughter. And it's hard because I don't need my mom and dad. I don't feel like my brother does easy. And it's hard on my mom, but I'm like, you did a good freaking job. That's why we don't need you guys. You did a damn good job raising us. We know how to work. We know how to take care of things. I know how to provide for my wife. I know how to do those things. I know how to change my own tire. I know how to change my own oil. I don't freaking do it unless I absolutely have to, but I know how to. And I know that sometimes I just got to get down and freaking work. But in the United States of America, ladies and gentlemen, we don't have that. We have millions and millions and millions and millions of people dependent on Social Security, food stamps, government housing, government health care, and the list goes on and on and on and on and on. So how can we require and request freedom and independence when we aren't free and independent ourselves? I think about this and I stress about this like you wouldn't believe. And that's why I share this stuff, because I'm like, man, what if I could freaking help people become independent so that the government doesn't have a hold on them? So I share this money reset with you. Step number 1, know your income. Step number 2, create a wealth plan. Step number 3, increase income. And now you've got the system. You know what's going on. You have a plan. You increase income. You know how much income you increase. You put it into your plan. You focus on increasing. It's just this will. You increase income. You know your income. You put it in your plan. You increase income. You know your income. You put it in your plan. You increase income. It just continues and continues and continues and continues and creates freedom, creates independence. Now, I hope my mom and dad, if they come across this, I hope they pat themselves on the back, because they did do a damn good job raising my brother and I. And I'm going to speak for me personally. They did a damn good job raising me. Would I do things differently? Maybe. But I used to be frustrated at some things. But I'm so grateful for those things now. Because of everything, it's made me who I am today. And so I'm grateful for those things. And I hope I can be the parents that they are and that they were to me as a child. And I hope we can get more people like that in the United States of America to create independence, to create their own freedom. I don't believe America's free because of the government or these things. I believe we're free because the people believed they were free, and that the people believed it was their country, and that they created their independence, the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, the everything. It's incredible, but we were free because we were free. We got to get back to that. We the people. We are free because of we the people, not because of government, not because of Democrats, not because of Republicans, not because of any of that BS. We are free because we the people. We the people fought those wars. We the people created the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, everything, those things. We the people voted for those things. And we the people are the problem because we've been kind of sitting back and getting comfortable. We let COVID happen. We let taxes increase. We let healthcare go to shit. We let our medical system go to shit. We let all of these problems happen because we the people, wow, we're like, oh, this is America. There's no wrong. We don't have independence anymore. We are dependent. The majority of America is dependent. And that is why we are struggling. That's why I hate participation trophies. That's why I hate all of these systems and things that are set up. You know, the political parties and all these things. Like, we sit here and blame the president all day long. Guess what? The president has very little effect on us day by day. People were poor when we had Republican presidents, and people are poor when we have Democrat presidents. It doesn't freaking matter. The economy might be a little bit better, and there are some people winning better. But on a day-to-day basis, nothing's freaking changed. It's because we're putting the blame on everybody else instead of ourselves. So I share that system with you because it helped me. We're going to go on to these questions. Okay? We've got a little bit of time. Gosh, dang, time goes quick. All right. These questions are online. And I'm going to read them. And we're going to go through them. All right. Should I sell my house to get out of debt faster? That's a good question. I've been struggling with some financial setbacks, including high interest credit card debt and unexpected medical bills that have piled up over the last year. I'm going to do something really quick, you guys. I'm going to ask AI. Hey, Nova, on a credit card, let's say it has a 24% interest, and then it says APY. What does APY mean? Annual percent yield. But here's the key thing most statements don't explain clearly. APY shows the real yearly cost once compounding is included. The stated annual interest rate does not include compounding. The effective yearly rate, including compounding. Example, with your 24% card, if card says APR 24% compounding daily, the APY is about 26.8. you're not really paying 24%. You're paying closer to 27% per year if you carry a balance. Why credit card companies use APY, legal disclosure requirement. Okay, so what if it's an APR, 24% APR? I just want to say this because I feel like people don't understand credit card interest rates very much. Annual percent rate, stated yearly interest rate. It does not include compounding. What it becomes in real life. Okay, so it's kind of the same thing. Okay, I've always understood a credit card, if it's an APY or APR, that means it breaks it down per interest. So if you have if it's, an annual percent rate, you have 12 months. So if you have a 24%, you're actually paying 2% on your money per month. Is that correct? Okay, so it says close. Conceptually, yes. Technically, not exactly. The simple method. If card says APR, so they divide it by 365. So 24% divided by 365 is 0.06575 per day, every single day. They calculate interest on your balance, add it to what you owe. Tomorrow, interest is calculated on the new balance. Why the 2% per month idea is slightly off? Because of daily compounding. So it's close to there, but and that's why they say 24% AP is because it's actually 26.8 if you take it day by day. I've just heard a lot of things from people that a lot of businesses, they put as much debt on credit cards as possible because it's such a cheaper interest rate than, like if you go get a 8% business loan. They're like, I'd rather have a 24% credit card because it's broken per day, or down to, they're like, if you break that down, it's like 2% per month roughly. They're like, that's way cheaper than anything else. So just kind of interesting thing there. Okay. Anyway, my job situation changed recently and my income isn't as stable as it used to be, which makes keeping up with mortgage payments tougher. I own a house in Minnesota that's worth a decent amount based on recent comps, but it needs repairs like a new roof and updated kitchen that it can't fund right now. If I sell traditionally, I'd face realtor commissions around 6%. Didn't they just reduce that down to 3%? Plus closing costs and staging expenses, which could eat into my profit significantly. Holding onto the property might lead to more interest accruing on my debts, and I'm worried about dipping into my emergency fund. I researched cash home buyers to liquidate quickly and use the proceeds to pay down what I owe. During my online search for options in Warren, I found Sell Soon Blue Moon, and the process seems straightforward for someone in my position. The buy houses directly for cash, no repairs required, and close fast without the usual fees. Yeah, this is totally an option. I got friends that do this, but they do it on a very cash basis, and they're going to pay a lot less than what the market does because they got to put a lot of money into it. I reached out, got an offer that aligns with fair market value minus the hassles, and decided to go with them. We're in the process of scheduling the closing now, which should free up cash to tackle my debts head on. Has anyone else sold their home to improve their financial situation? What were the tax implications you faced afterward? Interesting. That's a good question. I'm actually going to comment. I said, this is a great question. I have met people that have a business buying houses like this, and they have helped a lot of people. I spelled that wrong. It's a real thing, and if it aligns with your goals and those, it's a great idea. I think so. Okay, we're going to go to the next question. When you have available money but no clear reason to spend it, what do you do? Freaking spend it! No. Okay, since I started thinking in terms of available spend instead of traditional budget categories, I've noticed something interesting. The math is usually clear, but the decision isn't. There are moments where I've covered my bills, set aside savings, and accounted for upcoming obligations. On paper, the remaining money is mine to use. But instead of feeling confident about spending it, I hesitate, not because I can't afford it, but because I'm not sure whether spending it actually improves anything. Sometimes the money just sits there. Spending it feels unnecessary, yet holding on to it feels like I'm delaying enjoyment for no clear reason. I've caught myself questioning whether I'm being intentional or just overcautious. I'm curious how others think through this. When your available spend is real and accounted for, how do you decide whether using it makes sense? What helps you distinguish between spending that genuinely adds value to your life and spending that only feels good in the moment? Shit, if it's classified for that, who cares? My wife and I have literally done vacations where we're like, hey, we're going to put $200 a month into here, and then we do that. And we go on the vacation and we're like, hey, we got $1,800 to spend. And we'll freaking splurge on $150 steak. We're big into investing into experiences, things that we want. If it's classified for that, then do it. Like, enjoy that. I'm especially interested in real situations where you choose to spend or not spend on later felt confident about the choice. Not looking for perfect systems, just how this plays out in everyday life. I categorize money for a purpose. So, if you're like, hey, I want a new Xbox. I don't have an Xbox, but as an example, and you put $100 a month away until you can afford the Xbox. Let's say you buy the highest end one, and for everything you want, it's $1,000. You do it for 10 months, and then you buy it. Like, if you never give yourself what you want, you're never going to get what you want. And so create a system. And then that. Another thing is if I find something that I want and I'm like, I'm going to wait 24 to 48 hours or longer. And after a day or 2 or 3 days, I'm like, it'd be nice, but I really don't want it. Then I won't buy it. I move on. Maybe I'd be more interested in investing into more knowledge or buying a book or buying something else or doing something else. Like, what is it that you really want? I would believe that there's some type of thing there. I'd look back into your life. Are you repeating something that your parents did or something? Like, you're reflecting something in your life. Somebody used to do stuff like that. And maybe you just need to take the jump and give yourself permission to enjoy your money. Because maybe who you learned from never enjoyed your money, their money. And so that's what we do. We literally classify and do those things where it's like, hey, this is what it's for, and this is what we're going to use it for. All right. $23,000 credit card debt across 3 cards. Need advice. After a horrible 3-year relationship with my ex, I accumulated $23,000 credit card debt across 3 cards. Damn, that was a horrible ex. Amex card, $8,100. My account was canceled and past due 90 days already. Apple card, $4,600. Chase, $10,500. Student loan, $32,000. Ooh. I also lost my software engineering job early last year, which was paying $150,000 a year. Having been jobless for 10 months, had a mental breakdown, and am currently hopelessly searching for a new job. And I'm sorry, that's tough. My only assets are $30K in Robinhood. I'm not sure how to get this money liquidated out of Robinhood. I've never tried. You just sell the stocks or the crypto. It's not hard. Hopefully there are no complications and the money is liquid. Otherwise, I'm in a worse situation. If I am able to easily liquidate $30K from my Robinhood, should I just pay off all the credit cards immediately? That's a tough one. And I'm going to stay right here before we go to the next question. There's going to be so many people out there that say, never spend your money, because what if that stock What if it split and then tripled? Or what if that crypto went up? I get that. But you're also paying how much interest in your how late on your credit cards. This is where there is no perfect financial advice. There's only what you believe. And with this, I would say it depends on like your goals, your desires. Like if taking that 30K and totally wiping out your credit cards and then having some money in the bank would give you peace, freaking do it. But if you're going to sit there and regret selling those things the whole time, then don't do it. And I would freaking lower your standard. You were making $150,000 a year. There is stuff you could do to make $30,000 a year. Right now, everybody's hiring. Every freaking business is hiring. McDonald's, fast foods, retail, everybody is hiring. Everybody's looking for a good employee. So instead of being depressed, take freaking action. Even if it's $30,000 a year, that you can get out of debt with your $30,000 a year. If you don't have nothing right now, you'll still be okay. So I would make that decision on your Robinhood based on your desire, based on your information, based on your philosophy. If I can't liquidate Robinhood due to whatever reason, what should I do? Freaking go get a job. I'm honestly terrified of my situation and don't know what I should do. Advice appreciated. I'm going to comment to this person. I'm not going to do it right now. I'll do it after we hang up this call just because that's tough. That is way tough. But I would take action. All right. I just realized my savings only earned $18.15 in 15 years. Gosh, damn. Has anyone else avoided looking too closely at their old savings account interest history? I don't ever look unless I come across it. I don't give two flying flips. Money in my bank account, money in my savings, money in my market is there because I need it, not because I'm trying to earn interest on it. If you're really trying to earn interest, you need to go start a business. You need to invest in stocks. You need to invest in crypto. You need to invest in real estate. You need to invest in whatever the heck it is that you desire and you like. I don't care what I earn on interest in my bank account. I finally did, and honestly, I wish I'd have done it sooner. I opened my savings account with U.S. Bank back in 2011, and over 15 years, I've earned a total of $18.50. This is what the banks freaking do, guys. Not per year, total. That seems ridiculous. It is ridiculous. Banks suck when it comes to that kind of stuff. After talking with my husband and recognizing that my money was growing slower than at a snail's pace, I recognized I needed to move my money into a high-yield savings account. When deciding where to open an account, I wasn't trying to chase the highest rate of return. I wanted a reputable banking company with an interface that was easy to use and it was simple to transfer money in and out of, since this is savings I don't touch often. After comparing a few options, SoFi, Barclays, Ally, and others, I ended up opening a Marcus by Goldman Sachs online high-yield savings account. The setup was straightforward. The transfers have been easy, though they take a few more days, but you start earning interest from the day of the transfer, regardless if funds are in the account or not. There are no fees or minimums, and it's FDIC insured. Yeah, that's really good that there's no fees or minimums. That is total BS. If a bank charges you minimums and fees and all this crap, like there's some people that it's like, oh, it's 15 every 3 months for our. I'm like, nah. I'm not going to put money in your bank account that you earn interest off, and then you're going to charge me a fee. Hell no. I'll never put money in a bank that does that. I did open mine using a referral link, which adds a small APY bump for the first 3 months. I'll leave my referral link below for anyone curious. I encourage you to do your own research and go with a company that fits your situation best. I'm mostly sharing because I cannot be the only one who left money sitting in a traditional savings account for way longer than I should have, and I am curious what others here are using now. I will never put even emergency fund. You guys, I don't even hold an emergency fund in a bank account anymore. If you honestly want liquidation, if you want it to be liquid, you want it to earn good interest rate, you need to look at whole life insurance. The infinite banking whole life insurance, it pays a dividend, it pays interest, and you have access to your money. I don't hold any money in bank accounts for this reason. I actually just started another policy because I'm going to start putting business money into a life insurance policy. And then if I need it for business, I'll pull it out of the policy because I'm earning 4 to 6% growth plus dividends. So yeah, this has a 3.65% interest rate. Inflation is still growing faster than your money is growing. So you are still losing money every single day. Yeah, you're losing money every day, even at 3.65. Interesting. 61-year-old woman looking for insurance. Hello, my mom is a non-smoker or drinker. She is 61 years old and looking for options, what kind of insurance she should get for term life or final expenses, and which company is good for looking around $100,000 to $200,000. Term insurance, you guys, 97% of term insurance is never claimed. 97% of term insurance is never claimed. So only 3% ever file a claim. The next problem with term insurance at 60 years old, the max she's probably going to get is 20 years. You may be able to fight for a 25 or 30-year policy. So let's do the math. Let's say she gets a $20 or a 20-year policy. She's going to be out of life insurance at 81 years old. What if she lives to 85? You just gave the life insurance a pile of money. Okay, I would look at final expense in this situation. The reason why I would look at final expense is because it's a simplified issue. They're not going to ask for medical. Oh, they'll ask for medical questions, but a simplified issue, whole life insurance policy, they are not going to ask for a paramedical exam where they do a blood test, urine test, any of those. They're just going to ask medical questions. They're going to search your medical information, prescription list, and then go from there. And they can be, you can get up to a lot of final expense. The max you can get is $50,000. So depending on how much you want to spend per month. I would also look at a funeral trust. The reason why I'd look at a funeral trust is because it's a one-time payment. Or you can do a single pay final expense. Those are really good too. A final expense policy is based on a whole life insurance policy, which never goes away. And so it'll last till age 121. So no matter how long they live, you're going to pay a little bit more because of it, but at least you don't lose your money. To get $100,000 to $200,000 in coverage is going to be tough at her age. Well, it won't be tough. It's going to be expensive is what I meant to say. It's going to be super expensive. Somebody commented on here, final expense is normally $20K. No, it's not. You can go up to $50K really, 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 really easy. Okay. I would look at that. Another thing is the funeral trust. Depending on the state you live in, there are funeral trusts where you can pay monthly payments or a one-time payment. It is not trackable by the state. So if you need a nursing home or anything like that, that money does not count as money or income because it's tied up in an irrevocable trust. Or if you want something that's going to grow with you, I would invest in an underwritten whole life insurance policy. Keep it simple, keep it very simple, but the death benefit is going to grow every single time you pay a premium, whether it's monthly or yearly. Your death benefit will increase. In this situation, I would stay away from term life insurance. At the least, I would do a guaranteed universal life. It's like term insurance, but you can pick the age that it goes to. So very common is like 85, 90, 95. So I'd look at a guaranteed universal life policy, final expense policy, underwritten whole life insurance policy, or a funeral trust. Those are the things that I would look at. Okay. Man, now I want to comment to all those people. Is saving too much a thing? Heck no. Okay, yes, saving too much is a thing. You got to have a purpose for it. I'm 17 and I've been working for almost a year. I can't shake the feeling that I'm saving too much. I don't work many hours, but I still end up saving around 70% of what I earn. Hell yeah. Lately, I've been wondering if this instinct to save everything is holding me back from actually enjoying the money I work for. You should totally freaking enjoy it. Just asking to see if there is a healthy mindset and whether it's something to upkeep or change. Great job by being disciplined and saving 70% of your income. I mean, even if you're only earning $1,000 a month, you're saving $700 a month. If you're earning $100 a month, you're saving $70 a month. That's great. I mean, that is insane. Very few people are saving that much. I would, you're 17, you're going to be 18 pretty quick. Maybe you're going to go to college. Maybe you're going to get kicked out of the house, whatever your situation is. I would base this off of what is your goals, dreams, and desires. And I would start putting that 70% to work towards that. You know, maybe you bump that down to 50%. You got to enjoy your money. Okay, you guys, I was awful at this. I never enjoyed my money. I never did. And I got burnt out. And so I've worked harder to enjoy my money and enjoy the work that I'm doing, but still be very disciplined and planning. I would, saving too much a thing if there's no purpose. Saving is for a purpose. If you're only just compiling money in a bank account, you're hurting yourself. So it needs to be for a purpose. So I would create that purpose. I would create that plan and then execute based on that. All right, we got a couple more. What do I do when my parent dies? My sick father moved in with me a few years ago. He doesn't have anything more to his name than a used car and his monthly Social Security check. When the time comes and it's getting closer, how do I pay the final costs? I'm not all that sentimental, and as far as I'm concerned, I finished my obligation to my father, who was never that great in the first place. I'm sorry about that. By giving him a place to live and taking care of his dog after the rest of my family turned him away, I don't intend to pay for anything, but I assume I'll be billed anyway, just for the ambulance ride or hospital bills or whatever sort of service is offered. There's no point in having a funeral. No one would show up but me. Dang, that's tough. This is a tough one. That's hard because, I mean, those are his medical expenses. I agree with this person that commented on here. Don't pay for anything in your own personal money. Those are his expenses. Those are his liabilities. When he passes away and there's things left over, those are his things. As far as I understand and know, the hospitals and stuff don't come after you. They just write those things off because they're dead. Like, what do? There is going to be the obligation of the funeral home, though. And I look at it from the perspective of, life insurance is tax-free, you guys. Like, I've even told my wife that I would be interested in getting a life insurance on our parents that we own because it's tax-free and it leaves behind money based off their life to carry on their legacy. Like, that's how I look at it. In this guy's situation where it's just like, hey, he's passing away and he's gone, just want to make sure, you could look at a life insurance or a funeral trust or something that gives money to take care of those things and then just let everything else go. I would just keep it as simple as freaking possible. That's a tough one. That is a way tough one. I would just do it as simple as possible and just let it be. Broke, basically unemployed for life. What can I do? I'm working full-time, barely making $2,000 a month as a college grad. It's sad, but oh well. That's your problem. Quit being oh well. Like, solve the freaking problem. I've been living with my parents, saving every penny since I graduated. I had $12K in my bank during December. I had set a goal of getting a real job by January 2026, and well, that's never happened. Well, that's your fault. So over the last couple weeks, I've burned $7,500 on drinking alcohol. Holy shit. Smoking weed, etc. Gonna finish the remaining savings off by the end of the month. Where can I go from here with my career, life, etc.? Yeah, there's a comment here, $7,500 on alcohol and weed. Fix that problem first. Brother, how do you go through $7,500 on just weed and alcohol in a month? That's what I'm wondering. Like, you must have been buying you were buying like freaking $1,000 bottles. That's what you were doing. What do you want, man? What do you want? Your parents should kick you out of their house. That's what should happen. Your parents should kick you out of the house and be like, all right, it's freaking time. Go. Get out. Next, like, what is it that you truly want? If you're stuck in a career, go start doing stuff that you like. Even if you don't like it, go do something. You can make $2,000 a month anywhere. As a college grad, this is your own free. This is the problem, you guys, is we've got a system now that's so freaking easy, and people are just like, oh, well, this sucks. It's not the government's fault. It's nobody's fault. Like, you're the one that ain't got the college degree. So you screwed up there because it sounds like you're not even freaking using it and it didn't even benefit you. Go do whatever it is that you want to do. Have a purpose, have a plan, have a desire. Like, that's the problem. What is it that you want to do? I'm going to move on. That's a depressing one. Struggling with debt anxiety. I am struggling to the point of no return. I recently told my partner that I am in debt and it's a substantial amount, over $20K. That's not a substantial amount. Maybe it is, but I'm telling you it's not. I am dealing with crippling anxiety about it. I'm sorry about that. That's terrible. I can't stop ruminating about it, and it's causing sleepless nights and panic attacks. I don't know how to deal with this, and I'm wondering if anyone has advice on how to cope with this all-too-consuming anxiety. You need to create a plan. You need to create knowledge. Knowledge is going to help you get out of this, because right now you don't know what you don't know. And when you don't know what you don't know, you operate on what you don't know, and that just compounds on top of itself. So I would say you need to create a plan. You need to create a system where you know your income, you know your expenses, and you create a plan to pay this debt off. I haven't said it in here, but you should never focus on debt. What you focus on will expand. And so I love the situation for people where instead of like, oh, okay, I want to get out of debt, I'm going to start paying an extra $500 a month. Don't do that. Start putting $500 a month into your own wealth creation plan and your own wealth creation system. And the reason why is because if you focus on paying off debt, you have created a habit and a system of paying debt. And that's all you're going to do for the rest of your life is pay debt. But if you create a habit of everything extra, 200, 300, 400, whatever it is, goes into your own wealth creation account. Maybe it's one savings account in your bank account that's a money market account. You earn a dinky bit of interest, but that's what you operate out of. And then you set a plan. Hey, every time this account gets to $5,000, I'm going to take $2,500 and pay off my and pay towards the debt. The reason why is because you now have extra. Whatever you need extra. If you have a very simple life and you're like, okay, $1,000 is a big enough emergency fund, then you're like, every time I get to $5,000, I'm going to take $4,000. Whatever works for you. The reason why is because now you created a habit and a system to put money towards your wealth, towards your system. When you get done with that debt, next thing it's paid off, and you're like, oh, I'm stashing $500 a month into this plan. Now where could I invest this? Where could I grow this? Where could I build this? Because you've now created a habit of putting money towards your system, okay? And when you create that habit of putting money towards your system, it puts you in a position to create wealth instead of paying debt. So that's what I would do. That is what I would do exactly. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we went a lot longer today, 18 minutes, 19 minutes longer than we normally do, but that was fun. That was a lot of fun. A lot of good questions. I found all those. Some of them were kind of depressing. I'm gonna comment to a few of these people on this online place where I got these questions. Oh, I keep getting the hiccups. Excuse me. You guys, yesterday I was a little bit like, blah, what the frick am I doing? Today I felt better. Done is better than perfect, okay? Done is better than perfect. Yesterday was not perfect at all, but I did it. I exercised. I did the thing. And so I share that with you for the purpose of hoping to make you better and to help you get better and to realize that everything doesn't need to be perfect, but you need to start taking action. And so I hope you start taking action in those things. We had a great conversation at the start talking about making more money. Then we went into the money reset where you need to know your income, create a plan, and increase income. And then we went over these real life questions, people asking about money. Hope you guys got value from it. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being a part of this. My name is Jared Briggs. This is the Jared Briggs Show, and go be the master of your life. Have a good day.